To be a Michigan Wolverine is great. To be a Michigan Wolverine.
Michigan Fan TV, I got Ed here with me. Ed, tough loss, 31-13. It's not what anybody wanted in Wolverine Nation. So where's your head at after this one, and what do you think has to happen next?
Well, I was sort of having flashbacks to the last time I saw Michigan and USC play at the Rose Bowl game, probably like 10 years ago, and it's a kind of a hostile environment. I was surprised that Michigan didn't show up in defensively. It seemed like they didn't pressure that quarterback at all. I mean, but he, in fairness to him, the USC quarterback, he was getting the ball out of his hand very quickly. I just feel like if Michigan could have made a few explosive plays, running plays, pass plays, it would have been a huge difference. But I feel bad for Underwood. You know, he's a young quarterback coming in. It's a loud environment. I mean, not that he hasn't played in that before, but it just was, everybody has bad days. It's probably just a bad game for all of them, but I just feel like no one really showed up and there was no intensity on the Michigan side.
Yeah, it seems like the lines of scrimmage were not quite what we would have expected. Now, I will, in my opinion, my estimation, USC is the best offense that we might play all year. You know,
Right.
At least it's statistically in the way they were running the ball. That Miller kid looked like an All-American out there. I mean, 3rd and 26, they do a draw up the middle. Things like that usually don't happen to Michigan. So how do we recover from that moving on?
I think they have to reevaluate some of their play calling, perhaps. I mean, I know he's a young quarterback, but I feel like maybe it was a fourth quarter, they started to play with a little more up-tempo, a little more intensity. He was passing a lot of short passes, and it seemed like they were connecting. And in the early part of the game, it was just like handoff, and unfortunately, Justice Haynes didn't have those big breakout plays that he's been known for these last few games. So I'm sure Underwood will just only get better as he gets older. You know, he's got all the tools, but maybe it just has to be playing with a little bit more freely or loosely out of the box, you know, and passing more, taking a little more risk, I guess. I'm not sure. It seemed very conservative tonight.
Yeah, and we'll have to see what Haynes' status is moving on. But you got the Huskies next week in Ann Arbor. Still got some big games on the schedule. I mean, what can we do this season that would actually make Michigan fans think it was a good year?
I think if Underwood can take this year and really learn from it and say, look, you know, it's obviously to be a true freshman, barely turned 18 years old at the start of this season. And if he can, say, I honestly got my feet under me. I got, a taste for college football at the highest level, then maybe they can build on that and say, okay, he's got 3 more years or at least 2 more years before he goes pro. And it's kind of a building year for him.
I mean, yeah, you got to remember, he's 18. He's played 6 games at Nebraska, at Oklahoma, at USC. That's not a very typical start to a kid who was just playing high school ball a year ago.
And no matter, he wins state championship a couple times, I mean, nothing can prepare you for something like this. I mean, the decibel level and just the amount of fans and being on the road. I mean, who knows how the kids sleep in hotels, or, I mean, there's so many different factors. It's a long way to travel. This is not like a bus trip down to South Bend or to East Lansing or something, so it's a totally different factor to come out here. And, I'm sure it's an intimidating environment to play in, so.
Well, Ed, I love where you're at. Ed, I love where your head's at. Appreciate you spending some time with us, especially after a tough night.
Thank you.
And you have a safe night, okay?
Right,
and go blue.
Thank you.